DISDAIN. Aussie hosts hits out at Meghan over Harry's woke advice, spurred on by his missus. Prince Harry has come under fire over his comments about resignation, with critics saying if anyone knows the joys of quitting their job it's Prince Harry. The comments come as Prince Harry has been criticised for his statements made about resignations during the COVID pandemic. He stated that the resignations aren't all bad, in a Q&A with Fast Company, adding that people prioritising their mental health and happiness first should be celebrated. Sky News host Chris Smith said if anyone knows the joys of quitting their job, it's Prince Harry. He added, he said overnight that leaving work is something to be celebrated. I'm sorry, but there's a big difference between reasonable resignation and just quitting. Easy to do of course with the royal inheritance. Social commentator Prue McSween said, exactly. No one I know would like to be a royal. I think it would probably be the worst job in the world. Mr. Smith chimed in saying, I'll have it. 3 palaces, 20 cars, butlers, yes, please bring it on. Ms. McSween said, Prince William and the Queen, you know, she has a sense of duty. And most royals have a sense of duty. This entitled young man who is spurred on by his missus said that it was a dysfunctional family. Well, she would know the criteria of a dysfunctional family. She added, this whole job was just too hard. I have no problem with people generally who are unhappy in their jobs and finding it's affecting their mental health deciding to move, and I think that was the thrust of his argument. But when it's coming out of his lips, when he's sitting there inching on his $60 million plus budget and very happily trading, sniping inside stories about the royals, well then, you know, you just have to take it with a grain of salt. On Twitter, several critics called Prince Harry out of touch. They also said that he's privileged, that's why he can just quit his duties at any given time. Prince Harry telling people to simply quit their job for their mental health if they aren't happy may be the most out-of-touch thing he's ever said. He's right, it would. But he's forgotten most of us don't inherit millions or have the luxury to stash millions fronting brands, Twitter user @JackHarwick93 said. Oh, the irony of Prince Harry saying you should quit your job if it is making you unhappy. I wish Harry, but who is going to pay the bills? The fairies. Twitter user @Gemis in London added. Royal expert Virginia Blackburn also says Prince Harry's life advice is utter nonsense. She says, mind you, Harry jetted off from Planet Reality a long time ago. So here is the typical day in the life of the prince: wake up and practice an hour of mindfulness. Focus on how important relations with other people are, especially your close family. Refuse to acknowledge a text from your brother, an email from your dad, and phone your lawyers when you see your father-in-law has given another newspaper interview about how you won't speak to him. Nutrition is so important. Issue a press release on Archie telling the little people to stop stuffing themselves with chips and eat more seasonally. Pull an orange off a tree in your private grove and give it to one of the servants to prepare. Lead the way with compassion into your study. Instruct your lawyers to sue your brother-in-law's niece's stepsister's aunt because she's called her new baby Lily and it's close to an infringement of copyright of your own baby's name. Ditto a cousin of Meghan's twice removed who now lives in Australia and called her infant Arthur. Who are these people trying to trade off your royal status? Instruct a servant to book a private jet to a speech you are giving tomorrow called Polluting the Skies. When will the world wake up to climate change? Realize you are down to your last £70 million. Book an interview with Oprah to talk about the fallout after your last interview with Oprah. Remember more racist comments made by close members of your family.